Hello, 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 social butterflies. It's the promotion scope back for you. How you doing? How you doing? This is LaShonda Hoffman, your book promotion strategist, and I am back to talk to you some more about book promotion. Yay! All right, so I hope you had a great day. It was a long one, but we're here at the end of it, and hopefully here to give you some tips about promoting your books online. So today I am back with part 3 of the promoting your I can't talk today. Promoting in your PJs, part 3, promoting in your PJs. This week is all about pitching yourself, pitching your book, pitching your experience. And so I'm going to share a little tips about pitching and give you some assignments so you can pitch yourself out there to your public so they can find out more about you. So let's get started. You know me, I just get started. Go in there. Hello, welcome to the promotion scope. So your first assignment is to do some podcast research. If you're like me, you love podcasts, and you would like to be a guest on one day, maybe you'll be on my podcast, Sormeg Writers Cafe. Every Sunday we have a new podcast, so you could be a guest on my podcast. Now, how do you do that? Well, you do your research. You go and find out, what is Sormeg's Writers Cafe? Let me listen to it. Is that the type of podcast that I want to be on? Is the host friendly and works with writers? What are their guidelines? Is it a free podcast, or do I have to pay to be on the podcast? Those are different things that you want to know when you're doing your research. You know, I say get you a little notebook and write down the information. So when you're ready to pitch the person, you know who the host is, what their name is, you know where to find them, what's their website, you know what their guidelines are, and you know how to pitch to them. So maybe they say, okay, well, for me, this is what I asked for. I asked for the title of your book, when it was released, maybe a headshot, because I make a graphic, and then I want to know what genre your book is. So you want to know all those goodies to send to me when I ask for it. And how do I ask for it? In an email. Do I say post it on my webpage? No. Do I say post it in my DM? No. I say send it to me in an email. So make sure that when you're pitching to someone, you're sending them what they asked for and where they want it sent. Don't have them hunting you down when you say, oh, I put in your DM. That's not what they asked for. Listen to the guidelines. The guidelines is there for a reason, because this is how they want you to get the information from you. And maybe they might have specific emails just for their podcast. And so they want to make sure they got all that information in the same section. When I send it to my email, what I do is I have a folder with my podcast. So you say, okay, my book releases in May. I put you in the May category. So you want to make sure that you're sending them the information that they want. So your assignment, do podcast research, find 5 podcasts that you can pitch to. And then guess what you have to do? You gotta pitch them. All right? So your second assignment is to do group research. If you like me, you know I love groups. I'm hoping you love groups too. Well, groups are great for sharing your expertise, talking about your book, doing book discussions. Groups are like that. So I suggest that you find 5 social media groups. It could be on LinkedIn, it could be on Facebook, it could be on Instagram. Find a group and see what their guidelines are for pitching them, because everybody has guidelines. Even if they don't have guidelines, take the time to find out who's the moderator or the admin of that group, and then send your information to their admin. Pitch them a message, pitch them a letter, find out. Inside my book, I have different introduction letters is what I call them. And you just introduce yourself. You say who you are. Greetings. This is one in here. It says, greetings in the name of literature. I'm LaShonda Hoffman, and I'm currently promoting my new book and would like to introduce it to your readers. If it was something that you would like to do, please let me know, and I can let you know what I'm available for to fit your calendar. Something simple like that. It doesn't have to be a lot. Just something to pitch to the group to let them know that you are interested in presenting yourself to the group. All right, so that's your assignment. Group research. Again, research. Make sure these are the groups that you want to do pitch to. You know, if you're doing book clubs on groups, make sure that they actually feature authors. Hi, Donald. How are you doing? So you want to make sure they feature authors, because sometimes they don't. Maybe they just book clubs that like to read, but they don't want to feature the authors. So make sure that you do your research. Then you want to find your 5 social media groups to pitch yourself to. And guess what you have to do? Pitch yourself. Pitch yourself. All right. So the third assignment is online radio. I like online radio. I haven't done a lot of listening to online radio lately because I am into the podcast. So they kind of pushed online radio out, but they're still there. One of my favorite people is Ella Curry, and she has an online radio show that's been going on. I'm going to say almost 10 years now, and she's just sent out a message saying that she was looking for new guests. So pitch yourself to the band radio show network. You don't want to miss it. I tell my clients it's one of the best ways to spend your promotion money, because Ella's going to put you in front of the readers, and then it's evergreen that you can go back and share it all the time until she takes it off her network. So the band radio is one place you might want to check out. They are welcoming to writers. Check out the other online radio shows. Research is so important, because you don't want to just pitch yourself to anybody's radio show. Just because somebody has a radio show doesn't mean that's your audience. So you want to make sure that you find out this is your audience. Do they do books? You know, our radio shows don't do authors. So you want to make sure you know that. Pitch to the right person. Get who is in charge. Don't be sent to whoever may concern. I hate those type of letters. Pitch to a person. When you're doing your research, you're going to find who is the person you need to pitch to. So make sure that you find out who that is. Find out what the guidelines are. Do you need to send a press release? Do you need to send a media kit? Some of them don't want all that. They just want who you are, what you do, what's the name of your book. So make sure that you do your research to find out what are their guidelines. And again, send the guidelines. Do as they say in the guidelines. If they want a pitch letter, send them a letter. But you want to make sure that you follow their guidelines so you won't get in the trash detail. You want to be in the, yes, we would like to feature you on our show. So your assignment, online radio research. Then find you 5 online radio shows to pitch to. And guess what you have to do? Pitch. Makes no sense to get all this information if you're not pitching. Pitching. All right. So your 4th assignment, as you got all this information, now you're ready to write those pitch letters. You want to sit down one day and just write the letters. Get them all ready, fresh, spell check, make sure everything is right, make sure you got everybody's names right, and then you guess what? Your 5th assignment, you're going to submit them. Send them out so people can find out about you. I suggest get a notebook or create a spreadsheet for your pitches so you know who you sent to, who rejected you, who accepted you, and also who if they accepted you, when you're supposed to be on this thing, because you want to put that on your calendar. You want to make sure that you have the date when you're supposed to be in the group, on the podcast, or on the online radio show. Hello, Yolanda. Welcome. And so you want to make sure you have all that in a space, either on a spreadsheet or in your notebook, and make sure that it's on your calendar, because you don't want to do all this work and then miss the interview. All right. So if anybody has any questions for me, this is the time to throw them in the comments. If you're watching the replay, throw them in the comments anyway. I'll catch them later. Pitching is probably one of the most important things that you do as a writer, because you want to make sure that you're getting your book in front of as many readers as you can. And by pitching to different platforms, different groups, different podcasts, online radio shows, it gets you in front of their audience. And so, as I always say, we're all about capturing readers from somebody, capturing from somebody. That pitching helps you do that. You know, you get to share your experience, share your wisdom with their readership. And hopefully they will love you and click the buy button and buy your books. So I recommend that you pitch yourself at least twice a week. Twice a week. Get into the habit of just sending out pitches all the time, because that's how you get in front of more people. If you're not pitching, most of the time people are waiting on opportunities to come to them. You don't have to wait on opportunities to come to you. You can make your opportunities. As I always say, make your own table. Invite people to your table instead of you waiting on them to invite you to their table. Make sure you're pitching this stuff. If you have not been on the Soarman Writers Cafe, you have an open invitation to invite yourself to the Writers Cafe. Right now we're booked up to July, but the fall is coming, so get on the fall schedule. Send your information to me. Let me know, hey, I have a book. It has to be published. That's the rule for me. It has to be published. Don't be talking about it's coming out. I want it published, because I want readers to, when they get off the podcast, to go buy it. They can't go buy a book that's not published, right? So make sure your book is published. I recommend that for any thing that you're pitching, is to make sure your book is published. It's nice to get those things, but unless you have a pre-sale link, you wasted your time, because the people, when they get off, they're gonna go try to find the book. They ain't gonna wait till June when your book come out and try to remember that. They're not. That's just how we are. Let me get it now. If you don't have a published book and you go and pitch, you going on all these radio shows, you're going on all these podcasts, and your book isn't out, guess what? Guess who book they're gonna buy? The person who's on there with you. Because they're right now. So don't miss out on that by trying to promote too soon. Sometimes you promote too soon. You have to be ready. If your book isn't ready, then you need to have an email list for them to sign up for, or you need to have a pre-sale link for them to sign up for, because you don't want to miss that reader because you weren't ready. You got to be ready. I'm always talking about be ready. Be ready for the reader to hit that buy button. Be ready. All right. So I guess I could go over the assignments again one more time. Hold on a second. I threw my papers all over. So do your podcast research. Check out the podcasts. Listen to the podcast. See if it's something that you want to be on. Believe me, it's a bunch of podcasts out there, but that doesn't mean they're right for you. So listen to the podcast. Group research. Go in those groups and see, are they author friendly? Or do they rip authors to shreds? They just look, because in some places just like that. You want to make sure that you are in a friendly, author friendly group. Again, with the online radio, research. Listen to the broadcast. Listen to the show. Make sure that it's a show that you want to be on. Know a little bit about it, so when you get on there, you don't feel uncomfortable. You feel comfortable with the host. I did a podcast yesterday, and they were like, this was so much fun. It didn't even feel like an interview, and that's what I want. I want them to feel like we're in a cafe drinking coffee and talking. And so you want to make sure that when you're doing your research, you listen. Ask questions so you could be prepared, and make sure your book is ready. Don't start pitching if your book isn't ready for promotion. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself, because you're like, I got in front of 500 people, but my book ain't ready. It's not out. Now 500 people not waiting on you. They're going to move on. Believe me, they are. So you want those 500 people to hit that buy button when they finish listening to your broadcast. They're like, oh my God, LaShonda book was sounded so good. I need that in my life. Ding. That's what you want. You want the ding. You don't want the, I'll write that down and get it later. You want right now. That's all what promotion, right now. All right, so make sure you got all your information, you got all your guidelines, you got all your stuff, and then you want to make sure you writing up your pitch letters. Email them, send them out. Send them the way they ask you to send them. Do not be harassing people on Facebook if that's not how they give submissions. They don't. I'm LaShonda. I want to be on your show. Okay. Who are you? What is your book about? Are you right for my show? So do your diligence. Do your research. Submit the right way. Harassing somebody in their DM is not the right way. Send them a professional email, and make sure that you're maintaining a listing of who you submitted to, why you submitted to them, Because sometimes you submit to so many people you forget about, and then when they come back and say yes, you're like, who was that? What show are they on? You'll have all your information in one spot. You'll know what it is. Okay, so I don't see any questions for me, which is great. I get to get off of here and go finish cooking my dinner. But I want to thank you for being on the Promotion Scope tonight. Thank you so much. If you haven't promoted your book today, get off this scope and go showcase your wings. Share your book with someone. Someone needs your book or your services that you offer. All right. Remember, you don't have to promote by yourself. You can join the Social Butterfly Promotion Training Group on Facebook. It's a free group that I host, and you can come in and learn all about promotion and share your experiences too. Come on in. I will leave the link in the comments. All right. So I'm LaShonda Hoffman. I want to say thank you to my guests who popped in with me. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We'll be here next week. I just lost my thought of what I was going to say. I will be here next week with the last final part of the promoting in your PJs. And that will be all 5 tips to get you promoting your PJs for the last week. Hi, Tisa. I'm about to get out of here. So this is LaShonda Hoffman, your book promotion strategist. And guess what? I'll see you on the next.